Hello, welcome to Arsenal Studios. This is Learning English with Movies. In this video, we will talk about one of my favorite crime dramas, True Romance. We will also practice using indirect questions. If you're new here, the goal of this channel is to help intermediate English language students practice and improve their English skills by using movies as the main topic. If you like our content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The 1993 crime drama True Romance was written by Quentin Tarantino and directed by Tony Scott. The film stars Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette, with supporting performances by Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, and Christopher Walken. Slater and Arquette play a newlywed couple who steals a shipment of cocaine and are on the run from the mafia. A newlywed is a recently married person. Although the movie initially struggled at the box office, it gained a cult following thanks to the positive reviews from critics who praised the dialogue, characters, and quirky style. Quirky means characterized by peculiar or unexpected traits. Filmmaker Tony Scott was an English film director and producer. He started his career directing commercials and music videos, making his feature film debut with 1982's vampire thriller, The Hunger. However, it was 1986's Top Gun that skyrocketed his career. Skyrocketed means to rise extremely quickly or make extremely quick progress toward success. Scott is best known for directing highly successful blockbusters such as Days of Thunder, Beverly Hills Cop 2, and Crimson Tide. Crimson is a rich, deep red color inclining to purple. Tony Scott, along with his older brother Ridley Scott, an acclaimed director in his own right, produced many successful films under their production company. On August 19, 2012, Scott died by suicide by jumping off a Los Angeles bridge. True Romance was written by acclaimed writer-director Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino wrote an early draft of the script for True Romance, which he later sold to raise money for his first feature film, Reservoir Dogs, in 1992. A reservoir is a large natural or artificial lake used as a source of water supply. With the release of Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino launched his career as an independent filmmaker. His second movie, 1992's crime thriller Pulp Fiction, was well received by critics and audiences and won several accolades, including the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. An accolade is an award, honor, or instance of positive acknowledgement or praise. Since then, he has directed the martial arts revenge thriller Kill Bill, the war drama Inglourious Basterds, and the spaghetti westerns Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight. Spaghetti westerns are low-budget films made in Italy during the 1960s and early 1970s. Tarantino's eighth film, 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is a comedic drama about the change of old Hollywood to new Hollywood during the 1960s. Tarantino's films are distinguished by pulp culture references, non-linear plots, dark comedy, and stylized violence. A plot is the main events of a play, novel, or movie devised and presented by the writer as an interrelated sequence. The plot of True Romance centers on a young man named Clarence, played by Christian Slater, an Elvis fan and comic book nerd, and Alabama, a beautiful and charismatic call girl, played by Patricia Arquette, who fall in love after meeting at a movie theater. A call girl is a female sex worker who accepts appointments by phone or online rather than working in a brothel or on the street. That night, Alabama confesses to Clarence that she was hired to spend the night with him by his boss. However, after she declares her true feelings towards him, she asks her to quit being a call girl and to marry him. When Clarence tells her pimp the news, they have a vicious fight and he ultimately kills him. A pimp is a man who controls prostitutes and arranges clients for them, taking part of their earnings in return. On his way out, Clarence snags a suitcase of cocaine, mistaking it for Alabama's clothing. To snag means to catch or obtain, usually by quick action or good fortune. In an effort to sell the cocaine, the two set out for California by car, but the mob is soon behind them. The mob is another way of saying the mafia or a similar criminal organization. In order to practice your listening skills, we will take a look at a clip from the movie. Pay special attention to the key vocabulary as well as intonation and pronunciation. In this scene, Clarence finds Alabama outside his apartment smoking a cigarette. She tells him that she was paid to meet him at the movie theater by his boss. At first, Clarence thinks that she was a theater checker hired to make sure the employees were not ripping off the movie theater. A theater checker is an official at a theater who receives the tickets given by the money taker. Ripping off means cheating someone, especially financially. Alabama tells him that she's a call girl hired to sleep with him and tells him that his boss wanted Clarence to get laid on his birthday. To get laid means to have sex with someone. A relieved Clarence mentions that something is rotten in the state of Denmark, which is a famous line in Shakespeare's play Hamlet. It is used to describe corruption or a situation in which something is wrong. Before we watch the clip, I would like to invite you to check out my online course at Thinkific. The Learning English with Movies course was designed for intermediate English language students who love movies and filmmaking. You can practice your English reading and listening skills, learn new key vocabulary and grammar, and confirm your comprehension with fun quizzes. The Learning English with Movies Kindle ebook is also available from Amazon. For more information as well as fun useful tips and recommendations, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Now let's get back to the video.
What is it? You crying? What'd I do? Did I do something?
You didn't do nothing.
What is it?
I have something I gotta tell you. I didn't just happen to be at that theater. I was paid to be there.
You were paid to be there. What are you? Theater checker? You get paid to check up on the box office girls, make sure they're not ripping the place off?
I'm not a theater checker. I'm a call girl.
You're a whore?
No, I'm a call girl, and there's a difference, you know. Okay, here goes. You know the place you took me to last night? Place you work?
Heroes for sale?
You got a boss, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's his name?
Lance.
That's him. He called the place where I work. He ordered a girl for you. He said he wanted you to get laid. See, you didn't get out much, and it was your birthday and all. He wanted me to act like I just showed up. Now, how did he know you were going to be at that theater?
Well, I go to the movies every year on my birthday. In fact, he called me up this week to find out what my birthday movie was going to be.
You're not mad?
Oh, man. Can't tell you, that was one of the best times I ever had. It was. You know, I knew something must be rotten in Denmark. There was no way you could like me that much. Man,
Now let's practice some useful grammar structures. Indirect questions. We use indirect questions to ask questions in a polite manner, especially when you're talking to someone you don't know. They usually start with a phrase like, could you tell me, or do you know? Most tenses make questions by using inversion, in other words, changing the word order. Example, where is Clarence? Do you know where Clarence is? To make indirect yes-no questions, we use if and the word order of a normal positive sentence. Example, have Clarence and Alabama been to Los Angeles before? Can you tell me if Clarence and Alabama have been to Los Angeles before? Sometimes you want to make an indirect question using the present simple or past simple of a verb except be. When we want to make indirect yes-no questions using these tenses, we need if and we don't need do, does, or did. Example, does Clarence know that Alabama is a call girl? Can you tell me if Clarence knows that Alabama is a call girl? We use the question word and the word order of a normal positive sentence to make indirect WH questions. Example, when are you meeting Drexel? Can you tell me when you are meeting Drexel? When we want to make indirect WH questions, we don't need do, does, or did. Instead, we use a question word and the normal positive sentence word order. Example, when did Clarence meet Alabama? Can you tell me when Clarence met Alabama? Thanks for watching. Have you seen True Romance? What's your favorite Tony Scott film? How different do you think the movie would have been if Tarantino had directed it? Write down your thoughts in the comments below.